Alright, hey guys, welcome to this session by Great Learning. My name is Anirudh Rao and I'll be your instructor for this live session on data science basics for absolute beginners. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, data science is one of the most trending, one of the most happening domains in today's world. So we're going to check out a lot of that, and I'm sure you guys as beginners are excited to get started with it. Sometimes, even you guys can be intermediate learners as well as complete beginners. So I'm going to keep this a live session to a scope where all of you all, regardless of what your previous experiences are with data science, you guys can definitely get to take away some really important stuff about data science from here, right? Perfect, guys. Before we go ahead and begin with this session, can you guys head to the chat box and type in a quick yes or no if you guys can see me fine, if you can hear me fine, and if everything is working fine, right? So as soon as you go on to give the confirmation, we can go on to begin this wonderful session. Right, guys, head to the chat box and just type in a quick yes if you can see the stream fine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while you go on to do that, I want to tell you that I'm monitoring all of your comments, all of the chat using my mobile phone here. Now, any question that you might ask, I'll be more than happy to help you out. I'll be more than happy to answer that. So make sure you guys are putting down all of your questions that you might have regardless of how simple it may sound, right? So your question can definitely help you and of course all the other watchers as well. So make sure you guys are putting your questions down. Perfect. Now I have a lot of people tuning in, a lot of people saying yes, Sagar Kumar, Rohit, Kashyap Pandu, Mohit Patel, Mani. Why? Meaning a lot of you all are giving me a lot of confirmation that everything is perfect. So guys, I hope you guys are as excited as I am for this particular session. Welcome to this session, no matter where you guys are tuning in from. It's a beautiful evening here in Bengaluru, right? Now guys, before we go ahead and get started with the actual agenda of this particular session, I'm going to take a minute of your time to guide you about this fantastic venture we have here at Great Learning called as the Great Learning Academy. Now I'm sure you guys might already know about Great Learning Academy because this is a very popular place where you find a lot of learners, right? So in fact, we have 700,000 plus learners who join in at Great Learning Academy, somewhere around 140 different countries. We provide 1,000 plus hours of free learning content, on Great Learning Academy. So you might be asking, hey, so what's Great Learning Academy and can I use it? Let me answer the second question first. I can promise you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, regardless of where you are in your career, either you're in school, you're in college, you're about to graduate, or you've just graduated, you're looking for a job, you have a job and now you want another one, right? So no matter where you are in your career, I promise you something that here at Great Learning Academy, regardless of where you are in your career, you definitely will have something to increase your knowledge base and work towards becoming expert in your favorite domains, right? Now, a very interesting thing that you guys definitely have to check out here is when you say click on career path. Now you realize that there are many career paths that you guys can take, right? Be it in the field of data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing. There's tons of domains out there, and of course we have courses for most of them. Now if I click on the data scientist's career path, now I'm sure if you guys are tuning in for this session, you guys are definitely interested to become data scientists, right? Or at least you are looking forward to doing something or using the domain of data science maybe to solve a problem or something, right? Perfect. Now, as soon as you click on the career path of a data scientist, you can see that there's almost 100,000 jobs right now in India. The average salary is amazing. It's somewhere around 7 lakhs per annum. It goes all the way to 35-40 lakhs per annum, right? And we have 4.7 lakh learners who are enrolled into these courses, into our wonderful job ready programs as well, guys. Now this is a part where we deal with specializations. Make sure you guys stick till the end of the video because I'm going to be guiding you all on the fastest way, on the most structured way you guys can become thorough experts in data science, right? But then before you can get towards the specialization aspect of it, you definitely can start your journey with all the free courses that we provide. Now as you can see, we have ample number of free courses here, and all of these things, all the courses that you see on your screen right now, all of these are absolutely free, right? So let me just click on one of these courses, and as you can see, it's the basic data science foundations course. You can find out all the details about the course, the skills that are covered, all the course syllabus that's there, and of course you guys get a beautiful looking certificate, a course certificate which looks just like this. Now for everyone who's tuned in here, ladies and gentlemen, you tell me, you definitely know the value of how much a certificate adds to your resume, right? First of all, you're getting all these courses absolutely free of cost, so you can learn any number of courses that you want absolutely free. And the best part is you also have a certificate of completion that you can showcase on your LinkedIn, showcase on your resume, and it is these things that attract potential interviews. It's these things that make sure your resume pops up and stands out when you take a look at the tight competition we have in the world today, right? So there's many different courses in many different domains that you guys can check out at the Great Learning Academy. We have the Career Plus program as well. And for you all who are freshers, I definitely think it's going to add a lot of value, right? You can find out all the domains, all these courses. They're taught by subject matter experts, and of course they're taught in multiple different languages as well. Now guys, there's many ways you can reach the Great Learning, the architecture, the ecosystem. One of the most simplest ways is to join us using our website. But for all of you all who might be tuning in from your mobile phones, from your smartphones, smart TVs, whatever it is, you guys can definitely download our Great Learning app. It's available for both for the Apple App Store and of course the Google Play Store as well. So you can join in from either of these. So I'm pretty sure that you guys are excited for Great Learning Academy, guys. So what are we waiting for? Make sure you guys sign up for Great Learning Academy, right? Perfect. Now guys, coming back to our session. First of all, welcome to all of you all from wherever you guys are tuning in from. I hope you're having a really nice day. Welcome to the session. In this particular session, we are going to make sure that you guys understand data science to a good degree of detail in a duration of 1 hour or so, right? Now, without further ado, let's get started with the agenda of this session. First of all, we need to begin this session by understanding what data science is, correct? Let us have like really nice applications which I promise you guys have used. We can take an understanding of the exact meaning of data science itself by considering all of these examples and applications which you can connect to in real life. And after you understand this, I bet that you guys will be curious about why data science is even required in today's world. So we're going to cover that. And after which we're going to cover two really important things that you guys definitely should know. First, it's the data science architecture that governs how the world of data science works. Secondly, all the components that go into the architecture to make it work, right? So we're going to discuss these things, and of course at the end of this session we are going to have a small talk on how you guys can start working on your career in the field of data science, right? So guys, this is the agenda of this session. I hope the agenda is clear for all of you all, right? So guys, before we go ahead, make sure you subscribe to the Great Learning YouTube channel, and of course hit that bell icon, because every time you subscribe, every time we put out a video, right, the advantage of you hitting that bell is that as soon as we put out a video, you will be the first one to get notified of it, right? So to make sure that you guys are the first ones to get notified, you guys have to hit the subscribe button and of course hit the bell icon, right? Perfect, guys. Head to the comment section and let me know if you guys have subscribed to the Great Learning YouTube channel. Just type in a quick yes or a no in the comment section. I want all of you all to hit that subscribe button, right guys? Perfect. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the actual concept of data science, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is to make sure you guys have used data science. Let me give you connectors to tell you where you've used it. I'll give you a very simple example. It's summer right now. I am sure you and your friends might be planning a vacation to Goa or something, right? Maybe Goa, maybe among the mountains in the Himalayas or wherever it is that you guys want to go to. Yes, of course, it's finicky trips. It comes, planning is easier, but doing it is difficult, right? Anyway, all that aside, so of course you guys go on the trip, you and maybe 15 of your other friends, you click a ton of pictures, groupies, selfies, everything, right? You of course click a ton of pictures. Now you want to upload it all to social media, and the best thing is when you go on to upload it to Facebook, you don't have to manually sit and tag each and every person, all of your 15 friends in 10 photos. That means what? 150 times you have to tag someone, right? You don't have to do that manually. Facebook is very intelligent these days, and of course it understands, it recognizes face, and as soon as you start uploading photos, as soon as you move your mouse towards the face, it says, hey, I think this person is so and so, do you want me to tag, yes or no, right? So It's a fantastic thing. It is so convenient that you really don't even realize that there are so many powerful machine learning algorithms. There's a ton of data science concepts that going into making sure that it can automatically tag people for you, right? So I am sure you guys have seen this. I am sure you guys have uploaded a picture to Facebook or something. When you're tagging someone, it will show you that it will auto tag, right? That is a fantastic application of data science. Even though it sounds really simple, it is something pretty complex to achieve, right? Perfect. Now, let me talk to you about data science even more. Let me give you another fantastic example. First of all, let's talk about weather prediction, right? Now, what is the simplest way that you guys will go on to think about tomorrow's weather, right? Now, I can see the weather out of my window right now. It's pretty sunny, it's cloudy at the same time as well, but it doesn't seem to rain. It is sunny, it's hot. Now, this is me guessing it. Now, if I have to, let's just go back maybe 20 years, right? At the start, 1995, 1996, 2000, let's just go there. In those years, if you had to predict what would tomorrow's weather be, what would you do? The best thing you could do as just a person, not as a researcher, as a person, is you can go up to your terrace, you can look at the sky, you can guess either it's sunny, it's snowing, it's raining, there's a hailstorm, there's a tornado, whatever it is, right? So you have to manually go and look, but you cannot predict what's happening tomorrow, because today it's raining, tomorrow it can be very sunny. But now we've come to a point with the power of data science that you can analyze so many things. Not only can you predict the weather right now to be extremely accurate, but also you can predict how the weather is like tomorrow, 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now. Of course, we're not saying that it's going to be exactly 100% accurate, but guess what? It's majorly going to be accurate. That is what is important for us, the ability for us to predict something that happens in the future. Again, you will probably go onto your phone and say, hey Google, what's the weather, right? So Google will tell you, Siri will tell you, Alexa will tell you. How are they doing it? Again, it's the concept of data science, right? Now, one very important thing I find here is, us, of course, finding out the weather to see if you have to carry an umbrella, do you have to wear your, favorite pair of maybe a white colored shoes or sneakers or something, right? But another side of this is where I am really a huge fan of. It's the emergency services. Now, whenever there's an underwater tsunami, underwater earthquake, it leads to a tsunami, right? Tsunamis are very dangerous, and people really, cannot stand up against the forces of nature. So it so happens that data science today is powering our emergency services so well that as soon as there is an underwater earthquake and people know that there is a tsunami, it's coming. In the matter of milliseconds or seconds, alarms are rung everywhere around the coastal places where the tsunami might hit. So people just start running to make sure they can get to safety before the actual wave hits, right? So before, this used to be a manual task where people had to manually detect it, inform the meteorological department, then ring alarms, and by this time there's a good chance the wave has almost hit the shore. But now this is a matter of life and death, as you can see, and I believe data science here is doing a fantastic job to save lives. Now, I've given you just 2 applications among hundreds there are, right? So there's data science literally everywhere. You're watching this on YouTube right now. If this was recommended to you, again, how does YouTube know what it has to recommend for you? Data science again, right? Every time you browse on Instagram, browse a product on Amazon or something, there is always these recommendation systems. There's always something powered by ML, AI, or something related to the world of data science that you will use, even though you might not know you're using that concept. That is the magic of data science, right? It's literally everywhere. Now that we have your curiosity all up and all nice, it is very important for us to understand what data science is in itself, right? So what is data science? Well, data science is considered to be a study of data. Basically, in all of its simplest term, it's a study of data. And when we say data, right, the first thing that comes to your mind is that data is something which is very useful. Well, let me tell you this, data is not always useful, right? It is usually a raw entity. It is usually in its most basic form, which we cannot directly use, right? So think about like cooking. You cannot eat all the things raw and expect it to taste as good as if it was prepared and cooked, right? Similarly, if data is raw, it's called as data itself in the term of data science. But as soon as we apply some processes on it, as soon as we apply some algorithms, we transform the data, we gain some hidden insight that is present in the data. Now that data is no longer called as data, it's called as information, right? I hope you got what I said. We take raw data, we convert it into useful information. The process that takes raw data and takes it towards this kind of usefulness and the addition of meaning, deriving of insights, all of this, literally a study of how this can be done, is the entire world of data science, right guys? That's the most simple definition that I can go on to give you guys about it. Let me quickly pick up a question by Mayuk Chatterjee. He says, weather prediction, this is it where statistics and probability is required very strongly. Am I correct, sir? Yes, Mike, you're absolutely right. Even in the case of weather prediction as well, statistics and probability power it. Because see, whenever you're trying to predict something in the future, it is usually a probability. It's saying that, hey, it's 60% chance of rain, 50% chance of rain. So when you say 50% chance of rain or 60% chance of rain, that is literally a probability in its definition, right? You're saying 6 out of 10 times tomorrow it might rain, or saying that 60% yes it will rain, 40% no it will not rain, right? So this percentage game that's being played here, that is powered by probability itself. So I hope that answers your question. Perfect, guys. Now I'll give you another example where data science is very useful today in a way where people did not know it can be used. Let's say that you guys own a shop, okay? You all are selling chocolates, sweaters, ice creams and all of this. You have a shop which is, let's say it's a seasonal shop. You're very popular during the winter, right? Because in the hotness of the summer right now, I don't think anyone would want to buy a sweater, right? But I wouldn't mind chocolate and ice cream for sure. But anyway, coming to the point, you guys have a shop which sells sweaters, chocolates and ice creams. Now, if you have to guess, the number of people that will walk into your shop today or tomorrow, how will you do it? One way that I can think of is you're going to be using all the past data, right? Now, maybe this is the month of March, so you might not have a lot of people coming in for sweaters, but there are a good number of people who love ice cream. Now, for example, talking about ice cream itself makes me want to eat ice cream right now, right? So that's the thing. So you know that you will sell more ice creams more than sweaters right now. One, obvious, because it's the weather. Two, there's a good chance that, last year at this same point of time, you also had sales of ice cream more. So you're using past data to analyze if you can predict today's, tomorrow's and day after tomorrow's footfall to your shop as well. How fantastic is that? There was a time, maybe 20 years ago, if you told someone that, hey, use all your past data and past sales to predict the future, people, I think 20, 30 years ago, people would have laughed at it, because there is no way you can predict the future using computers right then, right? So it is all in movies and all of that. But now we are literally doing it, and the world is become so convenient to it that it doesn't even surprise us anymore. But the working of it is as fascinating to me now as it was all those years ago, when I found everything there is to know about data science, right? Perfect, guys. Now let me pick up one more question. Arpita says data is a collection of raw facts. Here the word raw stands for the data which has not yet been processed to get its exact meaning. That is exactly spot on, Arpita Malik. Your comment is spot on. Good job. Right, perfect, guys. Put down more of your comments. Let's have an interaction. I want all of you all to put down all of your thoughts, comments, questions, anything you have into the chat box right now. I want to make sure that we are keeping this highly energetic and highly interactive, because now we are going to find out why we require data science. Why data science? Now we can have a 1 hour talk just to understand why we require data science, but to give you all the essence of it in a very clear and a structured way, let's go back to 1969, the year 1969, right? On July 20th, humans first landed on the moon, right? So NASA put astronauts on the moon on July 20th, 1969. Let's talk about the computer that powered this entire spaceship, the entire aircraft, the entire, the craft that basically took us from Earth all the way to the moon, right? It was running on 0.004 MB of RAM. It's not even 1 MB, it's 0.004 MB of RAM, and the entire CPU was powered at somewhere around 2 megahertz. If you compare it to the phone that I have in my hand right now, this is probably 1 million or 10 million times slower, right? Now, this was the entire computer that took us to, I want to say another planet, but it's not the planet, it's the moon, right? Now, when you think about it, the computers today are extremely powerful. The average RAM on your phone these days are 8, 12, 20, I don't know if it can be even 32 GB, right? Because my computer runs somewhere around 64 gigabytes of RAM. It runs somewhere around 5 gigahertz of clock. That in itself is a million times faster than what the craft that we use to land people on the moon. So my point here is we require data science. One aspect of side of it is that we have extremely powerful computing technologies now. That's one story. Let's take a look at the other side of the story. The second part of it is, even though we have extremely powerful computers today, we humans do one thing really well. We generate a ton of data every single day. Maybe me and you, we don't generate a lot of data, but guess what? Every single day across the globe, there are 310 billion emails sent. Now, how many zeros is that? 310 billion. These are the number of emails that get sent every single day. And across the entire globe, brand new data that gets generated is somewhere around 2.6 quintillion bytes. Do you want to know how much 2.6 quintillion bytes means? Well, it's 26 lakh terabytes or TBs. Now, if your laptop, my mobile, whatever it is that we're talking about, can have a storage of somewhere around 1 TB, 2 TB, I do have 8 terabytes worth of hard disk space available, but that is the max, right? I'm going to take a couple of months, if not years, to fill it up. Take a look at filling and storing and maintaining 26 lakh brand new terabytes every single day. Wow, right? This is the second reason. First of all, we have extremely good computing power. Second of all, we have a good amount of data. We know that data can be converted into fascinating information, which is extremely useful, which can not only tell us where we went wrong in the past, but it can also tell us where we can go wrong in the future as well. It can predict the future. So bringing computing power, bringing all the data that we have today gives you the most powerful entity, which will slingshot you towards the world of artificial intelligence as well, right? Because that is how things work in the field of data science. You have a lot of data, you have a lot of processing power, you bring it together and you take something from its raw form into its process form, and the results that you get at the end of it, it would be near impossible to do it without the power of these computing machines that we have today, right? So that is something which is very fascinating, and one of the reasons of why we go on to require data science as well. Where you look at an IT problem, right? So all these domains, they are here because we have a problem that requires a solution. When you go on to take a look at it, at the end of the day, all you're trying to do is you're trying to solve problems using data science in one way or another, right? Data science is huge. It's like an ocean. So when I say that data science is used by everyone or almost everyone, I think it holds a lot of water here, because it is literally the fact that everyone does. You're using it as a consumer, but companies who are using it to solve a problem, well, they're doing it on the other side, but they're still using the domain itself, right? But then when we talk about this domain as a whole, when I say, hey guys, this domain is really big and all of that, what are all the things that go into making this domain? And of course, from the start to the end, how does the domain of data science work? This is a question I know that you guys are waiting to ask me, right? Well, before we begin with the data science architecture, let me pick up one or two questions more. Tejas Gunjikar has a beautiful question: how data science works in healthcare and pharmaceutical R&D. Well, Tejas, if you have heard of the concepts such as genome sequencing, or when there are situations where, especially the neurological signs of things, where people are still trying to understand how the brain works, you have to do a lot of processing manually. Now you have AI algorithms and you have really intelligent, entities. I definitely want to say entities, but at the end of the day, it's just a computer sitting there and it's giving you beautiful insights in a matter of seconds that would probably take a manual, a human being who do it manually, 5 or 10 days, right? A matter of seconds. That is one beautiful thing. And of course, even if you guys, I'm sure you guys already know about the COVID-19 pandemic. There is literally no one that doesn't know. So when you take a look at the pandemic, even how you produce a vaccine for this virus, right? Guess what? Data science was actually used there. An even more fun fact for all of you all is that data science was the reason we found out that there was COVID-19 pandemic that was about to break out, right? So back in Wuhan, let me quickly take 2 minutes of your time to tell you this story. I'm sure you guys are interested. Back in Wuhan, there was actually there was a very famous analytical company which was using machine learning and deep learning models to see anywhere in the world if there's any sort of irregular cases of pneumonia. Right, pneumonia is when water fills into your lungs and you can't breathe anymore. So this kind of a bot, right? It was a company who did this. They realized that there was a huge spike of pneumonia cases in Wuhan, China. Wuhan was the hotspot for COVID-19 virus, right? So they said that, hey, you know what? We have detected something abnormal here, and things seem to be going downhill quicker. And literally 1 week after this company used data science to deduce that, World Health Organization said we have a new pandemic on our hand, and that's when all the countries started closing down, right? So again, of course, full respect to all the frontline workers, full respect to all the doctors who are doing this. But when you think about it, here is where again a situation where computer science helped the world of healthcare really well. Of course, I'm not saying that without this we would have never found out. No, but we had a chance to find out 1 week before the governing body, which is the World Health Organization, made an announcement. That is the power of data science, right? Perfect. Now guys, to quickly talk to you about the data science architecture. Now this image that you see on your screen, this fantastic image that you see on your screen right now, is one of the reasons that will tell you why data science is really amazing, right? So from left to right is an entire process, a life cycle of data science, as I would like to call it. Now, to talk to you about data science, again, let's quickly take a look at a practical approach to understand this. First of all, when you have to process some data, even in its most simplest form, what do? You have to first of all get yourself some data to analyze. Now, to get your data, you can do it in multiple places. You can go on to maybe go online, find your data. If you're a person who's selling a product or something, you can also look at your competitors' data and analyze that. You can get your data from social media. You can get your data from another database, a cloud storage network, from your own servers. So there's literally a million places and a million ways of how you can bring in data and keep it ready for use, right? So this is simple. This is the first step in our data science architecture. Now, once you have all the data at hand, the second thing that you'll be doing is pre-processing the data. This is a fantastic thing, ladies and gentlemen. The second process you see here, which is pre-processing, this is a very important part of any data science related project ever. I'll tell you this. Now, if I show you a picture of a cat or a dog, you guys can tell me which is a cat, which is a dog, right? How? The simplest reason for this question, the answer to this question is that you guys, you've been trained to know what a cat looks like, what a dog look like when you were infants, when you were in school, when you were really tiny. All of us, of course, me including me. So we were seeing those images, we were seeing actual cats and dogs, and we know what they look like. If I show the same picture to the computer, for example, a machine learning algorithm, and say, hey, what is it? It will have absolutely no clue what it is seeing. Like literally zero clue. It doesn't know that a cat exists, a dog exists. So it has no idea there. And this is okay. This is something we can train. We can teach the machine learning algorithm, hey, this is what a cat looks like. This is what a dog looks like. Now you figure it out. It will do it happily. But it will only do it correctly if I give it the correct data, right? Now, if I have a picture of a dog, let's say, and I give this to my machine learning algorithm and I say, hey, this is a cat. Now, what will my machine learning algorithm do? If it is training and if it is learning, it will learn it incorrectly. It will think that the picture of a dog that I gave is actually a cat, right? So that is where all of these inconsistencies happen. If you're looking at an Excel workbook for data, and if you have incomplete rows and columns, and if you directly send it off to your machine learning processes without pre-processing it, your machine learning algorithm will flip. It will literally not know what to do, and even if it gets to a point where it can train on something, its accuracy rate of detection of whatever it is that you're trying to solve will be really bad. It might seem like, oh, okay, so if I have one or two mistakes, will it hurt the machine learning model so much? The answer to that is absolutely yes. So pre-processing your data is extremely important, right? So first of all, we get the data, we pre-process it, and then we send it across to machine learning. Machine learning uses mathematics, uses the concept of statistics, wherein it understands what the data is, right? So it knows the data, it understands the data, and then it will give you some sort of predictions. It will give you its analysis at the end of it. Now, look at the fourth process here, right? We're going to walk through all of these individually as well. In these four processes that you see, ladies and gentlemen, data visualization is the fourth one. It so happens that when you have the output of your machine learning code, you can understand it because you're a machine learning engineer or you're a data scientist who wrote the code. What if you have to explain this to maybe a non-technical person, right? So if you have all the textual data, it gets complex. The best way to do this is to make sure you guys can have beautiful looking graphs, beautiful looking dashboards and visualizations, right? If I were to give you an Excel workbook which has maybe 10,000 rows and columns of data, if I say, hey, please analyze this, it would be very difficult for you to do. But if I give you 4 or 5 beautiful looking graphs and tell you, hey, here is everything you need to know, which would you think will work better in a meeting? Guess what? It's the second one. It's the second option where you have graphs, right? Literally, this process again is a part of data science. It's used almost everywhere. Now, the last step is the actual goal of data science. We are trying to derive key insights from our data. We are trying to understand something about the data that we did not know before we started data science, right? That's the magic of this. Now, let me quickly talk to you about step number one. Step number one was data acquisition. This is where we are getting the data from multiple places. Again, the type of data that you have to get depends on your application. If you want images of cats and dogs, you can do it. If you want your favorite songs and analyze something there, you can do it, right? So all the data that you're bringing in, one important thing is you have to make sure you have to securely store it, right? You bring all the data in, you store it in a way where it can be hacked. It doesn't make sense. The first step is to bring the data, store it in a secure way. The second step is once you have stored the data, you know that it will consist of things which are useful, things which are useless. So remove the useless part, keep the useful part, and make sure that data is clean and pre-processed before it goes to step number 3. Step number 3 is machine learning, right? This is where machines go on to do all the jobs. You train a machine to do something without you having to intervene and teach it all the time. You teach it once and you forget, and it keeps doing the job over and over again. But then to do this, you have to provide high quality of data, right? And of course, when you're thinking about machine learning and data science are literally used together most of the time. Of course, I won't say all the time because it's not the case, but most of the time these two domains are used together. Now guys, I'm sure you guys are curious about if there are any differences between machine learning and data science as well. Now I have curated a video just for this, answering that question of what are the differences that are are in between that lies in between machine learning and data science. The video is coming out soon on the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Great Learning YouTube channel. That way, as soon as we put out this video, you can go on to check it. It's a fantastic video where we've covered a lot of important differences. I'm sure you guys will love that video, right? Perfect. Step number 4. Step number 4 was literally me telling you that, hey, not everyone will understand the data result. You have to convert it to a format where everyone understands, right? This is where you tell stories with the data. This is where you make data understandable to everyone. A fun fact here is that whenever you have an image on the screen, an image conveys a point 3000 times faster because a human brain can understand an image 3000 times faster. So when you have the chance to make someone understand something 3000 times faster, why would you not want to do it, right? That's the point of data visualization here, because the result of these visualizations, the graphs that we create here, that is what we use to see everything, what went wrong in the past, why are we at the present right now, what's going on now, what's happening in the future, what went right, what went wrong. You can answer a million questions here, right? Step 5 is the end result, deriving key insights. This is the most important part of it, but to get there, let me quickly go back to the main slide. You guys have to work on all of these things that you guys now know the architecture, right? First, we acquire the data, we clean it, push it to machine learning, we perform some analysis there. It cannot be machine learning all the time. Sometimes it's deep learning, sometimes it's neural networks, sometimes it is just exploratory data analysis or EDA. After which you visualize the data, you create graphs, you either use the graph yourself or give it to someone who can say, hey, this is the data that we had, this is the machine learning algorithms result, the machine learning models result, and this is what we have gained, this insight, right? So that is a fantastic thing to know about the data science architecture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly pick up a couple of your questions before talking about the components of data science. Perfect. A lot of you all are, having a conversation. Really nice, guys. I appreciated that you guys are asking all of your questions there. And Janarthan has a very good question. How can data science be helpful in NLP or natural language processing? Well, Janarthanan, I'm sorry if I spelled your name wrong. An important thing about NLP is, right, a fantastic thing. Now, as soon as I open up my mobile and say, hey Google, right, so I literally said, hey Google, and it picked it up. This is NLP. This is Google understanding that, hey, it is me that's talking, right? So it is not just a simple aspect of me saying, hey Google, hey Alexa, or anything. A lot of places NLP works amazingly well. Think about chatbots. Think about automatic addition of subtitles to YouTube videos, right? The captions. That is also done because an algorithm there understands what the person is speaking, converts it into subtitles, and gives out the subtitles. Sometimes you can translate the subtitles also. That again is a beautiful application of NLP. Perfect. Mayuk says, sir, how can data science be used in military and warfare? Well, Mayuk, let's hope that we don't have a chance to, let's not get into warfare, but for sure, in defense and as well as in the field of military as well, data science is being used everywhere. The most advanced fighter jets, the most advanced equipments that we have, all make use of algorithms in a way where all of these try to predict what will happen, what the enemy will do, so that you're ready to counter it, right? This is one side of things. The second side of things is actually training the soldiers in a way by making use of algorithms where, training a soldier is as good as training a human being, right? So you need to know that body has certain limits no matter how athletic you are. So what is the most efficient way that you can train a soldier for combat, and you don't have to stress him, strain him, and all of that, right? So finding out those body mechanics as well, there again data science is very, very popular. I can give you probably another 100 different applications, but I'm sure you understand data science and defense and military, the number of applications there is fantastic. I think we should do a video discussing about that, right? Perfect, guys. Okay, amazing. Now let me go on to talk about the components of data science, and we can take up more questions, right? So guys, these are, in my opinion, the 4 important components that go into the domain of data science. Now, even though it doesn't look like individual components, but let me tell you, these are the foundational concepts. We have the dataset, programming language, user interface, and a problem at hand. First of all, let's talk about dataset. Now, when I say data set, what do I mean? Well, basically, it's a collection of data that I'm going to use to analyze, right? So without this, you cannot perform anything in data science. Look at the name. It says data science. Without data, you can't do anything. So this first component, I think everyone will know by now that we require data. Now, the second thing is, once you have data, you have to convey it to your computer, you have to convey it to your machine learning algorithm, and you have to convey it so that your machine understands what's going on. How do you do that? Your machine right now, I'm sure you guys are watching on your mobiles, you guys are watching on your laptop, computer, TV, wherever it is. You will feel like that device is the most intelligent thing in the room there. But let me tell you this, your computer, your laptop, your phone, or any any device which works on electronics in the entire world probably works in the most fundamental way. It only understands 0 and 1, absolutely nothing else, right? So you're not using zeros and ones to type or talk to me or talk to your computer right now. You're using a user interface. You're using a product which is built again using a programming language. Similarly, to make your data connect with your machine, we require a way of communication, and that communication comes through programming languages, right? But then you do not just use the programming language. You have to find the easiest, the nicest, the most convenient way to use the programming language. That is where a user interface comes into the picture. Now, once you have a data set, once you have a programming language, once you have a user interface, you're ready to solve a problem. But to solve a problem, what do you require? You require a problem, right? So a problem is also an equally important component of data science itself, because without the problem you have nothing to solve there, and people don't talk about this, but that's an important thing. Anyway, quickly coming back to component number 1. Component number 1 was datasets. Datasets is the most important requirement right now. I'm sure you guys already figured this out. It's not only quantity of data. More data works better in terms of machine learning algorithms is true in some cases. But it isn't always that you have to have a ton of data. If you have a ton of data which is unclean, which is not pre-processed, which is very bad, let's just say the quality of the data is bad. In that case, no matter how much you have, it still doesn't mean anything, right? So quality is important, and you guys already know this by now. You have to pre-process it. Without pre-processing, nothing should be done, right? Perfect. Now, take a look at the next component. The next component is to make your machine understand all the data that we have been talking about. So, for data science, there's two popular programming languages, which is Python and R programming language. Now, these two languages are really popular for this particular field because these languages does it really fantastic well. It was purpose built to handle all of these data and all the programming power that's required to do it. And of course, machine learning, as you know, will require a good amount of computation power, and that is easily done with amazing syntax, very easy to do it, and it does not take hundreds of lines of code. And you can build your simple machine learning models and your maybe business intelligence graphs and all of that using Python and using other tools as well, right? Perfect. Now we know that we have to type in our program, write in our program, but here is a fun thing which you guys might have already known, right? Whenever you have written your first piece of code, first program, did it execute without an error? Have you never seen an error? No, right? Sometimes you will see errors, and that's okay. The best part is the most convenient way to solve an error is usually given by an integrated development environment. Now, for Python, there's many IDEs such as PyCharm, Google Colab, Jupyter Notebooks, where it gives you a user interface so that you can comfortably write in the programming language. If you're typing Python code, now there are so many IDEs where it'll guess what it is that you might type and it'll start recommending it automatically. Just like when you go to Google search and you type in buy Nike shoes or something, it'll show you recommendations of what you might type, right? So same. Now we've come to a point where AI algorithms can sit and predict what code you will write and write it for you as well. That's how amazing. So at the end of the day, you have more time to think about logic. You have more time to actually solve the problem rather than breaking your head about all the complexities like syntax, how to use the language efficiently and all of that. So all of this is taken care by the IDE. Your job is to write the best possible code possible and at the end of the day solve the problem, right? So this was component number 3. But to solve the problem, you require the problem itself. But it's not just simple saying, hey, I have a problem, solve it using data science. No, you have to understand the existence of the problem. First thing, to know that the problem exists. Second thing is to know how you can solve the problem. The third thing you have to ask yourself is, how can I solve this problem in more than one way, right? So there will be usually one solution, two solution, 100 solutions of how you can solve it completely. You have to sit and think about all these. You have to find the most effective way, most efficient way and do it. This is how you guys get to solve problems in the field of data science, right? Perfect, guys. With this, let me pick up more questions. Vikas King says, sir, data science can be used in Python or machine learning. Well, Vikas, yes, Python is a language which is extremely popular and preferred for machine learning and of course to learn Python as well, because data science and Python are closely related to each other. Right? Perfect. Nidzex Mockney, sorry if I spelled that incorrectly, but he says, thank you, sir. Will the live stream be uploaded on the channel? Yes, the video is available. The live stream is available on the Great Learning channel after the session ends. So in case if you want to rewatch it from the first, be glad to do so. Okay, perfect. Janardhan says, can you repeat the Python IDE part? Okay, so Janardhan, let me tell you this. So whenever you have to use a programming language, you have to find the easiest way to use it, right? You might remember if you have used C or C++ programming languages where you had to type in codes in a code box, compile it first, execute it first, then check the output. It was a very complex process back then. Now it's literally a click of a mouse, right? So you type in a piece of code, hit enter, your code is executed. You don't even have to install Python on your computer to work with Python. Now Google Colab is a fantastic Jupyter notebook which is hosted on the cloud. So you can go anywhere. If you're sitting in the train, if you're sitting on a plane, and if you want to write Python code, you can do it, and using your mobile you can run it. That is the advantage of having an IDE, right? So it just gives you a ton of flexibility and a million reasons of why you should pick that up as well. Okay, perfect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly talk about having a career in data science, right? You already know this. Well, if you don't, data science is one of the top 10 careers of all time right now. So it is a career that is considered to be not only the most trending one in the field of IT, but it is considered to be the most trending one in the entire field of computer science itself. So that should tell you the power of data science, right? So data science, as I told you, it's used literally everywhere. If you watch a movie on Netflix, you're using data science. Are you using your mobile phone to text someone? You're using data science. Are you watching a video on YouTube? You're using data science. I can just keep telling you the same sentence on and give you 10 different applications, 100 different applications. This is the reason data science can solve a ton of problems, and it has been solving a lot of problems that we have and adding so much convenience into our lives that it is no doubt the number one career, the most trending career to have, right? Perfect. Now with that, you guys might have a question saying, okay, Anirudh, I understand all of this, but who can we consider is a person who's called a data scientist? Well, I'll tell you that it's a good question, and the answer to it is, a data scientist is a person who's all the four people you see on your screen right now. First of all, a data scientist has to be a mathematician. If you guys are looking towards a career in data science, yes, your knowledge of mathematics, knowledge of statistics is very important, and that part of it is required. The second thing is, a data scientist must be a trend spotter. Now, when I say trends, you have seen a lot of things trending and the trend hyping up, the trend dying as well. Think about fidget spinners, right? Fidget spinners are something a couple of years ago that literally everyone I knew wanted. Even young kids on the road, all the way to senior citizens, they were very interested to have the fidget spinner and keep spinning them. That was a trend. Now, companies, if they had used data science, and I'm sure they would have, they could have realized that, hey, this is something which is picking up rapidly, so let's start manufacturing more of these and selling it and marketing it. Well, that the thought of doing that again is required by a data scientist as well. The third thing is programmer. Of course, a data scientist has to be a programmer, because you take all of these three, a data scientist being a mathematician, a trend spotter, and a programmer. These three is fantastic to solve a problem, right? These three skills that a data scientist have, yes, you can solve a problem, you can be good in data science. But look at this last point. It says business manager. Why should a data scientist be a business manager as well? I'll tell you this. These first three skills can solve a problem maybe in 5 days, right? So you have the skills, the knowledge to solve something in 5 days. But your company says, the company that you might be working for where you're using data science to solve the problem, they might tell you, hey, we only can give you 2 days to solve this problem. So knowing that, hey, you cannot have 5 days, you have to plan so that you can deliver this result to your business provider, to your client, or whatever it is in 2 days instead of 5. That kind of a thought, that kind of a knowledge, who do you think brings to the picture? A business manager or a manager, right? That is exactly why this is also important for a data scientist. So guys, I hope we are clear with this aspect of things, because the next thing we're going to talk about is something fantastic, which is about having a career in the post-COVID era. What happens after COVID-19 ends, right? Let's go back to March of 2020. A lot of people were losing their jobs. A lot of people lost their jobs, in fact. But when you take a look at all the data scientist roles or anything like that, the number of people who got fired, laid off, whatever it is, from these domains, absolutely, I want to say it's almost zero, because no matter what, be it a recession, be it a pandemic, be it something that stops the world, data scientists and people like data analysts, business intelligence analysts, all these guys are constantly required by businesses across the globe, no matter how slow your business is. So companies, even in March 2020, they were hiring more and more data scientists. So if they were hiring for more, why would they want to let go of the people that they have, right? That is the advantage. This is a market where your demand is always higher than what is being met, right? So that means you will always have jobs, you will always have openings, and no matter where or when you start, you guys definitely have an advantage. I think this is a trend which will go on for the next 4 or 5 years easily. But yes, at every point of time, even today, even tomorrow, the number of jobs are only increasing for data science. They are never decreasing. So if you're ever thinking about having a career in data science, right now would be the most perfect time for you guys to get started with it. But then having a career right now, I'm sure you guys will be very curious about it. You can say, hey, everyone is working from home right now, what's happening, right? So let me tell you this, work from home is being normalized, or everyone is comfortable working from home, learning from home and all of that. And in fact, let me tell you this, if you're working from home, you can actually use tools that are built using data science to track what the employees are doing as well, right? Just one simple example. Not all the companies do that, of course, but at the end of the day, you have to understand that there is so much of long-term stability and growth that is shown by data science, that either you're working from your office, you're working from your home, you're working from Starbucks, it doesn't matter. As long as the job is done, you can literally work anywhere. And this is a huge advantage right now, because now during the pandemic, all the countries, even though they're physically shut their borders, the companies there are actually hiring people everywhere. Now, there was a time when you couldn't apply to a job role maybe in another country because they only wanted the local people there to apply for the job or something like that. Now you can apply to lit jobs anywhere, because you working from home is going to be a trend for the next couple of years. So you are not, your resume, your job application is literally open to the entire world right now. So this is an opportunity I don't want any one of you all to miss. The entire world, is literally a potential. There is potential for you to send your resume and be hired, for a fantastic role in the USA, even though you're sitting in India. But with remote working, that's going to continue. And maybe, hey, after the pandemic ends, you might fly to USA or any places to actually, get there, start fresh, have that kind of an experience of another country, another job. So there's a lot of things you can do. It doesn't have to be that you have to look at that kind of a thing. Even if you're a person who wants to stay in your own country, you want to work on research, you want to work on a data science career, understand this: 70% of all the job postings ever, that every day that come up for data science, out of, let's say, 100, there's many, out of 100, every time 100 jobs are posted, 70 of it will want people with 0, 1, 2, 3 years of experience. This will not happen in any other domain, or in fact most of the other domains as well. Because if you see job postings, I'm sure you guys know this as well, it so happens that they'll say 5 years experience, 10 years experience required. In data science jobs, if you take a look at it, all the jobs that are posted will ask for less experience but more skills with the requirements there as well, right? Now, to quickly talk to you about some of the designations where job roles are really open in the field of data science. You can of course become a data scientist, you can work towards becoming a data analyst, you can work towards becoming a data engineer, you can work towards becoming a BI analyst. Now a BI analyst means business intelligence analyst. This is where you'll be creating those beautiful looking graphs and dashboards. A data engineer is responsible for bringing in data, all the concepts of big data. A data engineer will handle that fine. To actually perform analysis, to actually use the data to give some insight to it, is a data analyst's role. And to do everything that all these guys do and a lot more, and of course to look at data in a way that no other designation or job role will look at it, is a data scientist's role. And that's why it's called as a scientist. You start inventing things, you start discovering things, right? Perfect. Now guys, coming to a section where you guys are going to ask me, okay, wonderful, now you have a fantastic solid foundation to get started with data science, how do we go ahead? I have to tell you one important thing at this moment in time is there are so many, there's tons of learning material available. A simple Google search where you type in learn data science will give you millions of results by the time I did that, right? So that's a huge advantage and can be considered as a small disadvantage. I'll tell you why. Huge advantages: you can learn, you can literally learn everything there is to know about on the internet today. But the second disadvantage that comes with it is that since there is so much of content present, if you do not have a structured way of navigating through the content, it is like swimming in the middle of an ocean. If you don't have a map or if you don't know where you're going, you will drown, right? So in this particular case, what I mean you'll drown is you will not be able to complete your learning because things can get difficult. You will not know how to learn it step by step. You will not know the roadmap that you have to take and all of that. So this is the reason why I keep iterating so many times to all of you all to say, hey, subscribe to the channel, join our live sessions such as this, because guys, you tell me, right? So you are having so much of we are having so much of discussion in the comment section right now that I can tell you that, hey, I am an expert. I am a complete subject matter expert in the field of data science, AI, machine learning, and all of this. So whenever you talk to me, I will not only promise you that I'll give you the highest quality of learning material, but I also will align your learning with what is exactly required in the industry, right? That is the huge advantage that you guys get here, I believe, at Great Learning. And it is not only me, it is all the subject matter experts here who are creating content for Great Learning, right? Perfect. Now, for you guys to get started with data science, there's many places where you can find free content. First of all, Great Learning Academy. Guys, head to the comment section. You let me know if you guys have signed up for Great Learning Academy or not. Have you guys enrolled into it, created an account and started a course on Great Learning Academy? Head to the comment section. Let me know if you have, right? Yes or no. If you haven't, please do it. All the courses that you find on Great Learning Academy is free of cost. You'll also get a certificate of completion. So it's a huge advantage for you all, right? Perfect. And next, of course, we have the Great Learning YouTube channel and Great Learning blogs. Again, all of these are curated by subject matter experts who are thorough experts in their own domains. So whenever you guys join us for live sessions, whenever you guys feel like reading a blog, My Great Learning is a fantastic place where you can check out a lot of technical blogs. So these places are some of the learning material here at Great Learning's ecosystem, where you can get started with domains absolutely free of cost. You can learn so many things, right? Perfect. Now I want to tell you one important thing when we talk about data science. The domain is so big and it's so trending right now that you guys definitely will be interested in how you can go from being a beginner to a complete expert, right? Now, to get to that, I highly suggest you guys check out the specializations offerings we have here at Great Learning. Now, we have multiple specialization and post-graduation courses that you guys definitely should check out, because these courses, they are done in collaboration with some of the biggest universities, some of the Ivy League schools, right? When you think about it, Great Learning is associated with so many universities. All these are top-notch universities who have some of the best faculties, in the entire world out there, right? So, for example, we have a PG program in data science and business analytics that is done in collaboration with Texas McCombs, which is basically University of Texas at Austin. I'm going to show you this particular program, but as you can see, we have multiple PG programs, MTech programs, MS programs that all of you all should definitely take a look at, in my opinion, right? Now, let me quickly click on these career transformation programs and let me click on explore programs. Right now, since we're talking about data science, let me open up this fantastic post-graduation program that we hear. This is considered to be India's #1 course for data science and business analytics, and as you can see, this is done in collaboration with the University of Texas at Austin. It's a beautiful university, McCombs School of Business, basically, and you can find out many reasons of why you guys should consider this top-notch program, right? It's a 6 months online program. This is meant for people who are looking forward to becoming thorough experts in data science. You learn everything from modeling, data analytics, data visualization, a lot of other things. You get 1:1 mentorship. You'll work on multiple projects, and 7,000 plus alumni who have taken this particular course have had an average salary hike of almost 50%, and you get job opportunities with 350 plus hiring partners that we have here at Great Learning, right? So as you can see, you get 2 beautiful certificate which says this person has done a post-graduation program in this, and you can see you get 2 certificates, one from the University of Texas at Austin, and you get another certificate from the Great Lakes Executive Learning as well. So as you realize this, having these certificates, putting the detail on your resume and telling that, hey, I've completed the PGP program, and you have a certificate from University of Texas at Austin to prove that you've done it, well, guys, the immense amount of knowledge you would have gained at the end of 6 months is beautiful, but also you have to look at how much of value and interest it will bring from the interviewer's side to know that, hey, this person is really good at the topics, right? So at the end of the day, if you're talking about curriculum, this is a very vast curriculum. Since you're learning this entire domain over 6 months, you will learn everything thoroughly. You can find that each of these modules have sub-modules. There you have quizzes, projects, and you've, as I keep scrolling down, you can see that there's quizzes after quizzes, projects after projects, and these are all just like minimized. If I click on each and one of them, as you can see, you'll find the exact detail of what it is that you're going to learn in that module, that particular aspect of the domain itself. And at the end of the day, as you can check out, once you finish all of your learning, you'll be given a practical project to solve. It's called as a capstone project. This is a real-time industry level project where you'll be having expert guidance, where you guys will be solving actual problems. And this capstone project is exactly what you put on your resume to showcase to the world that, hey, I have learned data science and now I know how to solve problems using data science. That second part where you say I know how to solve practical problems using data science, that experience, that technique is what will get you hired, I am sure, right? Then you get career assistance in terms of resume building, mock interviews, 1:1 mentorship, and of course a PG certificate from University of Texas and Great Lakes as well, right? So there's many languages and tools covered here, everything from Python, R, Tableau, SAS, SQL. You can take a look at all the capstone projects. We have data sets from Uber, Netflix, Amazon. You can find out what domain this project is being done in. You can find out more details about the domain itself, right? And if I have to talk about the faculties, guys, you guys will be learning from the leading academicians in the field of data science and business analytics. These guys come from top organizations. They are thorough experts in and out. They know everything there is to know about the domains itself, right? It's not only the faculties who are really amazing, it's also the mentors who are really good at this as well. So these guys will guide you. You can find out a lot about who our mentors are, what they do, and everything else. And you have to find out that having this kind of a personalized mentorship, right? This is the difference. This is going to make a huge difference once you guys are considering to become an expert in this particular. Then of course you have the GL Accelerate as well, career support program, which is designed exclusively for our learners. You get access to 350 plus hiring partners. You get a lot of access to the curated jobs, exclusive recruitment drives, interview prep, career mentorship, and a lot more. So guys, you can find out all the featured projects, conferences, what the learners have to say about it, reviews, so many different things. And we come to a point where you guys can see that of course this is a paid program, since this is 6 months entirely done in detail, so that you guys can become thorough experts. Of course, in fact, this is a 11-month program. My bad that I told you that it's 6 months. This is an 11-month program, 225 plus hours of career learning support. You get access to GL Accelerate. You have 17 real world projects that you have to solve, where you're guided by experts. And of course, you get a lot of different information as well. There's an application process that you guys have to follow to make sure that you guys are enrolling yourself into the course. There's a frequently asked question section as well. And guys, one important thing that I have to tell you about at this moment in time is if you have any questions, if you have any comments where you want some help in your career, that you guys know that, hey, I want to do a course, but you don't know which course to do, you don't know what is the outcome of it, you don't know what would be the best for your learning. We have experts sitting here who can answer all of those queries. Just put in your name, put in your email ID, mobile number, and your work experience, and hit submit. We will have someone who will give you a call in the next 4 hours. These experts can guide you on how you guys can become experts in this domain itself, right? Now, since we're talking about data science, yes, but if you explore the Great Learning websites, you find multiple programs across multiple different domains, right guys? Perfect. Now with this, let me pick up 1 or 2 last questions and we can go on to end the session, right? Probit says, I got 36 certificates from Great Learning. Well, Probit, that is amazing to see that you have participated so much in terms of Great Learning Academy. So how was your learning? Do head to the comment section and let us know. Satwaki Chatterjee has a question. What is your name, bro? Well, Satwaki, welcome to the session. My name is Anirudh Rao, and oh, Kashyap answered that. Beautiful. Okay, so I'll pick up one more question from Satwaki. I am from commerce. Should I learn data science along with BCom? Well, that is the advantage of data science, right? So no matter what domain you guys are coming in from, if you put in the right amount of effort and if you have the right amount of skills, all of you who are watching this video right now can become experts in data science. I have that confidence in all of you all. I definitely suggest you can all of you all can do it, right guys? Perfect. So guys, with this we have come to the end of this live session. I hope I answered all of your questions. There was a lot of interaction from all of you all. Thank you so much. You guys are a wonderful audience, and it is thoroughly my pleasure and to be teaching all of you all. So I hope this session was useful for all of you all. If you found it useful, useful, guys, do take a second, hit that like button, because it will not only show us your support to the channel, but also we'll know that you guys are expecting and you want more videos such as this as well. So guys, take a second, hit that like button, shows your support. On that note, I wish you all well. Make sure you guys are staying safe from the ongoing pandemic, wear your masks, social distancing, do all of that. And since we're all learning from home, working from home, make sure you guys, right now is the best opportunity ever for you to get on the data science trend, to have a fantastic career, a really well high paying salary career, as I showed you at the start of this with Great Learning Academy. And of course, with this, make sure you guys are checking out Great Learning Academy and the 200 plus free courses and free certificate of completion that we guys are offering there. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Great Learning YouTube channel. And of course, guys, if you subscribe, hit that bell icon, because as soon as you hit that bell icon, the next time any one of us are live or we post any videos or anything, you guys will be the first ones to know that, right? On that note, I wish you have a beautiful day ahead. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.